Okay, he's a retired Reed IT person. Good to have you there, Marv.
Okay, so anyway, so now we're recording and we're using a floor mat, a ball if you have it, and hand weights if you have them. And we're going to start with some stretching. Um, so let's just stand behind the chair, feet hip width apart. Let's contract the seat, the belly, the urinary muscles, and let's bring the palms forward and then down and back. And then let's come up. Let's touch the fingertips to the shoulders. Bring your elbows up on either side of your head so your arms are staying very close to your head. Let's reach up and stretch, stretch, stretch. So really trying to stretch the shoulders here. Let's bring the arms back down. So my elbows are still up. I brought my fingertips back down behind my upper back. And now I'm going to bring the elbows down and reach back again. So now getting the upper back muscles involved. Touch the shoulders, elbows up, stretch through your rib cage there. Reach up, touch the shoulders, elbows down, reach back. And then let's just come out to the sides and we'll lean and reach, and to the center, I'll lean and reach. Let's bring both hands up, squeeze seat, belly, and urinary, and let's go to the side and reach, back up, other side, and reach. My palms are facing each other, and reach, up and reach, side and reach, up and reach, side and reach, up and reach. A breath in and a breath out. And circle the shoulders back. Settle your shoulders back and down. Go ahead and give your big squeeze again all through the middle part of your body. And we're going to circle the face to relax the neck. That reaching up tightens these muscles. So we're thinking of loosening in the neck. Easy breathing in and out through the nose. Circle the other way. Okay, and then gaze forward. We're going to practice some things with the eyes open and then eyes closed. So let's go with a march. And when you can, kind of slow it down. Now float the leg up and float the leg down. We're within reach of the chair or a wall, in case you need it, because we're thinking of, let's close one eye, close the other eye. So we're alternating, one eye closed and the other eye closed. Go back and forth a bit. And when you feel like you're steady with that, you can try closing both eyes. If you use your chair, try a fingertip lightly and give yourself a chance to practice to where you can control the lift and lowering of the legs so that it's slow and gentle. And then open when you're ready. Let's take a breath in, a breath out. And now one hand can reach your chair. Keep facing me. I'm turning sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna feet hip width apart. We're gonna bend the knees, sink the seat, and we're gonna actually let ourselves hinge at the hips a little bit. Pull in your belly now, contract your seat, and we're gonna pedal. And as you pedal, think of straightening by pushing the hips forward a little so your shoulders are back over your knees, but you're still in that semi-squat. And then we'll stick the seat back out and come forward in our pedal. And stop. Breathe a few times. Bend your knees, kind of lower. It's a semi-squat. Now we're going to do kind of the same movement where we come up, go back down, but as we march. So shoulders are wide. Pull the elbows back a little. You can reach your chair if you need to. And we're going to try a march. And then I'm straightening my shoulders back, but I'm keeping that knee bend. And then I'm going to hinge forward. Pull your belly in. Contract your seat. And we'll go down again. Okay, from here, we're just going to stick the seat way out. Let your head fall straight forward and reach to the floor. So you're right next to your chair like this. I'm sideways so you can see me. And now what I'd like to do, pull your belly in. We're going to try if we can bring one leg back and down, and then the other leg back and down. So you're actually touching the floor. Say you can't reach the floor, you could come where you use your chair. But I think most people with the knee bend will be able to reach the floor. We'll lift a leg back, lift your other leg back, lift back, lift back, and then bend your knees, and we'll push our way up. Using a lot of trunk strength for that. A breath in, a breath out, a breath in, a breath out. We're going back to our march. Gentle arm swing. Heart lifted. Belly, seat, urinary, some contraction. And we're going to try looking side to side. Practicing at becoming more controlled with that challenge of side to side. And then look forward. Now we're going to try looking up and down as we control that march. Okay, let's circle the shoulders back, get our feet planted, the core contracted, and then spread and close, especially spreading and close, spread and close, coming down. Now we're going to take a ball or socks or whatever you've got. We're going to try a little toss and catch. So that's looking up and down. We're going to try a little march with our toss and catch, trying to feel in control as you practice. Okay, that looked good. That looks good. All right, and then let's go ahead. Now this is, we're going to stand and we're going to hit the ball with the flat of your hand. Kind of like your hands are ping pong paddles. See, and this is for quick eye movement. See if you can keep your ball in the air for a bit of time, or whatever you happen to have. If you have like a rubber ball, I realize this doesn't work, you might toss and catch. But if you have a foam ball or your socks or a balloon, you can try that. Okay, then we're going to put the ball aside. And a few more standing things I want to do. We're going to kind of involve the arms here. And we're going to do a few punches. A stomp, 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 punch with the knee lift. Stomp, 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 punch. stomp, 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 a punch, stomp, 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 a punch. So like keeping your balance while you're punching with your arm, with the knee lifted. A breath in, a breath out. Now we're gonna do a kick. So here you wanna be where you could reach your chair. I'm just gonna show you what it's gonna look like. It's a 1, 2, 3, and then kick front, kick back, kick front. Now you can join 2, 3, kick front, kick back, kick front. 1 into the heel, front, back, front, stomp, 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 front, back, front. We'll bring it down. Okay, a breath in and a breath out. And now, being slightly behind your chair, we're gonna try a swing of the leg. That's a little different. So chair is there in case you need a fingertip. We're gonna go out, front, out, behind, out, down. And we'll try the other side. And you could just stay in the same place. Out, front, out, back, out, down. Let's try again. Out, front, out, back, out, down, out, front, out, back, out, down. So I don't know about you, but my body has to do all kinds of movement and compensation to keep my balance, which is a good thing, to find things where you work to control it. Let's take a breath in, a breath out, and we're going to go back to our stomp punch, and we're going to try that eyes opened and then eyes closed. So it's a stomp, 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 punch, stomp, 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 punch. And when you feel ready, you could try it with your eyes closed. Stomp, 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 punch, stomp, 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 punch. Being patient, punch, so that you can do it a few times. Stomp, 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 punch, and let yourself improve. If you stop right away because it's too tired, think it's too hard, you just don't give yourself a chance to improve. Okay? All right, let's pedal. Kind of pedal that out. Relax the knees. Take a breath in to the toes. A breath out. And a breath in. A breath out. And we're going to go now to some stomping with some slightly different. So one thing I want to review we're going to do is like a box stomp. So you step forward, you can see my feet. We're going to stomp forward, side, back. And when you go forward, always with the inner leg for the box. So stomp, stomp, stomp. Now I have to go forward with this foot. Stomp, stomp, stomp. And it would be this leg, front, side, back, front, side, back. Okay? So it's something a little trickier for the body, because when you're back here, you step back, stomp, and then use that leg right away again to go forward. Front. Okay, so let's get some music here. We'll do some regular stomp.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I who's gonna be the man who gets up next to you.
Punch.
And if I ever, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's ever adding to you.
Let's try
But I wanna walk 500 miles and I wanna walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes and all I got to, I pass almost every penny on to you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right, go ahead. Do a few stomps. Somehow. Let's pedal.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm
Faster.
gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out,
Jog
well, I
if you
know
can.
I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you.
Let's do
If I get drunk,
pull back.
well, I know I'm gonna
Palms
be
together.
the man who gets up next to you. And if I ever, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's ever adding to you. But I wanna walk 500 miles and I wanna walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working,
It up.
yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes and all the work got to, I pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you.
Together.
And if I go, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going home with you. But I wanna walk 500 miles and I wanna walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Find your chair. We're gonna hop. 1, 2, 3. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Hop.
When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you.
Hop.
When I'm
You
dreaming,
can jump if you want.
well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you.
We'll go faster. Let's go forward.
But I wanna walk 500 miles and I wanna walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Okay. All right, let's get our chairs ready. And if you want, you can use your weights. We're going to do our squats and rises. The weights are something you can use if you feel very confident in your squatting to the chair. If you feel like you need to use your hands, then don't use the weights. Okay, let's do a little march with the weights. Okay. Okay, and then let's just check we're centered in front of the chair. Let's circle back. And let's do a breath in. We'll bring the weight up, a breath in, overhead, a breath out, and then the other side, a breath in, breath out. And then we'll bend, hinge, so it looks like this with a flat back. Look at your chair, make sure you're centered, right close and in front of your chair. I have my arms bent, and then I'm going to pull my elbows back a little, because it's always nice to use the upper back muscles and stretch through the collarbones. And I'm going to slowly to the chair. I'm going to lean forward and push up. I'm checking in with my feet and knees. Feet and knees are equally separated. I'm going to hinge and really even slower go down to the chair. Pull my elbows back, hinge, and push up. I'm going to go down again, pause. I'm going to go closer and pause. Pull the belly in, contract your seat, closer and pause. And then slowly down, and then a breath. I'm coming up to my shoulders. I'm going to push it up with the breath and out. And then another breath in and out. I'm going to hinge forward. And I'm going to do one arm forward, one arm back, and then switch it and come part way up. Hold it, squeeze my seat and my belly a little up higher, push and back up. Bring the elbows in, and let's flare out and cross, flare out and cross, and bring the hands forward, pull the elbows back. And let's just slowly go down. Use your core. Give the squeeze with the belly, urinary, and seat, and we'll land here. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to set the weights aside. We're going to be using the balls again in a moment. So you want to get your ball or your ball substitute handy. If you don't have anything, that's perfectly okay. Okay, we're going to take our shoes off. All right, let's go ahead and just put the ball between the knees, hands on the knees or the thighs. And what we're going to do is just lift up straight and maybe partially straighten the elbows to get really straight in the chair. Feel that like your head is stretching up toward the ceiling. And we're going to do a little bit of a upper body movement. You can face your screen. I'm going to curl and straighten. And I'm thinking I'm just curling my upper back and straighten. I'm wanting to straighten in the upper back. I am keeping my seat and my belly and urinary muscles tightened as I just fall forward slightly and lift. And I'm thinking it's coming like from the bra strap up. That little curl and a lift. And I really feel this strengthening in my back with that. And now that I'm straight, I'm gonna slide my hands back a little so my elbows can pull back. My upper body can be activated. Now I'm gonna squeeze my knees together, add my belly and my urinary muscles, and then I'm gonna relax. Let the knees separate, but hold the ball lightly. Squeeze your ball, add the belly and urinary muscles, pull the elbows back, and relax. So our end result here should be You feel really stretched through the rib cage and the trunk. Shoulders are down and back. Chin parallel to the ground and neck kind of relaxed. If you feel tension in your neck, think of just tucking the chin, a fraction of an inch. Okay, add your core and then add your knee squeeze and relax. Now we're going to do our knee squeeze, our core. Bring your hands out like this. So I'm kind of in a W. I'm going to take a breath in, a breath out. Pull the elbows back. So I'm pulling my elbows back, a breath in, a breath out, a breath in. I'm keeping my knee squeeze. And then now I'm going to relax my knees. And I'm going to set the ball under my chair. I'm going to do some movement, slow and fluid to warm up before I go back to using the ball for some other movements. So we're going to use some music. We want to start with the hands on the knees again, or near the knees. Give a little push to straighten the back, and you're halfway forward in the chair, not too far forward. Tuck your elbows in, and we're going to start with floating the arms. So we're going to do touch, reach, and back to the knee. A touch, reach, and back to the knee. So this is one arm at a time. Shoulder, reach across, float it down to the knee. Shoulder, reach across, float it down. Okay, and then both touch your elbows, come wide, straighten the arms, and I'm extending my wrists. So my fingertips drop to the floor. I'm going to rotate up. So that's a wrist, shoulder rotation. I'm going to drop it down again. Rotate up. Okay, now I'm just going to bring my hands like this. And I'm going to turn to one side and turn to the other side. And this is really using the muscles across your abdomen. Then I'm going to separate and reach up and reach over to one toe. Reach out and lift. And reach over to the other toe. And reach up and lift. I'm going to bring my hands out, so I'm doing 3 back stretches. This one I'm going to hug each leg, let your head fall towards your knee, and give a pull, hands out and a lift, and over to the other side and a pull, hands out and a lift. And then I'm going to bring the legs in, and I'm going to grab a knee, grab, pull, contract the belly, hold that up and down, a grab, pull, belly contraction so we can hold it and down. And then I'm going to separate, a breath in and fall slowly to the floor. And then I'm going to walk up. So I walk the fingertips out and then walk upward, and I'm going to come down, and I go back to my starting position and repeat some of the movements. So let's go ahead, add some music, and see if we can kind of float through this. This is to be controlled. And with all exercises, please remember, if it's painful, scale back, skip it, or whatever is necessary. Nothing should be painful. Hands by the knees, get that straight back, and now the touch, reach to the knee, a touch, reach to the knee, both hands up, touch your elbows, and wide, come out, little rotation, and down, hands to the front. We're going to twist and reach, twist and reach, up, slide the head, and 2 more, a twist and front, twist separate and reach over to the toe. Reach out and up. Over the other toe. And up. And now for that hug, that lean and hug. Out and lift. Over and hug. Out and lift. Together. That lift and a pull. Down and a lift. Pull. We'll do each leg again. Pull. Down and pull. Down. Out. Up. And to the floor. And start walking up. 2, 3, 4. It's going to be back to the knees. And we'll start over. Touch, reach to the knee. And touch, reach to the knee. Both hands up. Touch. Out. And rotation. Down to the front. And that. Turn and forward. Up behind the ears, and that twist and forward, twist again, bring it down, circle back, breath in, okay, yay! Really fun to do that. Okay, and a great warm-up. So let's find our ball. Okay, so we're going to start with the knee. We're halfway forward in the chair. The knees are a bit separated, farther than usual. So I'm going to my knees are a little wider than my hips, and my knees are right over my heels. And I'm continuing with some shoulder stretch. Bring this forward, elbows straight as I lift and move to the side. My head stays forward, my trunk stays forward. It's just happening in the shoulders. So some movement like that. And then I'm just going to bring this down between my knees. Now I'm going to contract my seat, contract my abdomen, and lean back. And if my chair's slippery, I'm going to hold on. Then I'm going to really contract the belly and now straighten my knees, both at the same time. Okay, and I'm going to bring those down. Now I'm going to lower the ball to between my ankles without using my hands. I'm going to do try to control that ball coming down. And then I'm going to separate my feet and do a back strengthener. So I'm going to lean down, take the ball in one hand, look to the side and lift it up twice. So good back strengthener, and then switch hands and go to the other side. Up and out. And then I'm going to alternate up and up. And your head should be looking out on the floor somewhat in front of your hands. So make sure the neck is being strengthened too. Okay. And then we're just going to reach up and come up. We'll bring this down. Now we're going to do kind of a rib strengthener. We're going to put the ball right at the side. My elbows bent. I'm going to bring this down against the ball and then press my elbow into the ball or your socks and trying to hold 5 or 10 pounds of pressure there. Okay. And I'm going to come out and in. I'm doing a rotation while I hold that. getting the muscles in the shoulder, the ones that's stabilizing and control your shoulders. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Right at the rib cage, bent elbow comes in and presses in there. The ball as flat as you can get it, and then we're going to rotate out and in. And as I do this, I'm not using my shoulder and my trunk. I'm trying to keep my shoulder wide, just rotating in the shoulder joint without the shoulder whole shoulder complex coming forward. This is a lot of concentration on that. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's turn, bring the ball in one hand, and let's do a little bit of loose movement in the shoulder. Let's switch hands, and that swinging back and forth. Okay, now we're going to put the ball on one knee. So this is if your hips and knees are able to do that. It's often the hip. We want to cross one leg over the other on top of the ball. And this is to increase the stretch. But if that's too much stretch, just do it without the ball and do all the same exercises. Okay, so whatever works for you, we want to cross this knee over the other. Say you can't cross your knee, you can just cross your ankles. Because a fair number of people have had hip replacements, and it makes it a challenge to have this level of flexibility. Okay. All right. Now we want to sit up straight. So you can bring your hands back and maybe toward the back corner of your chair to keep the collarbones spread, the shoulders back and down. We're going to point the toe and try to straighten the leg. So this increases the stretch. Straighten and straighten. Okay. And then also it increases the need to use the back muscles to stay up straight. Then we're going to try to, we're going to try to unroll, keeping the ball between the legs, kind of trapped. And we'll go to the other side, bringing that over. Reach back. And as you reach back, shoulders go back, really open through the upper chest. Point your toe, and we'll see how it goes for straightening that knee. Straighten and straighten. And then we're going to try to grab that ball behind your knee and bring it out. And then I put my ball on my foot on the ground. I'm going to turn, everybody turn a little sideways. You're about 45 degrees. We're going to contract belly and seat, and then lean the side of your ribs or your shoulder blade against your chair. We're going to touch with the heel and straighten, touch, straighten, touch, straighten, touch, and down. And then we're going to do a variation, the kick up. So it's touch, up, and then sit up as you kick down. We'll lean back, touch, straighten, and a kick to bring ourselves up. Okay, let's turn the other way, move it to the other knee. So I have my ball on my foot on the ground here. I'm going to tighten and lean the side of my body back against my chair. Heel to the ball, really contracting the belly, and straighten the knee. Trying to fully straighten the knee. Straighten, straight, touch the ball, straighten. Let's try the kick up. Lean back, heel touch the ball, straighten, and kick up. So getting an abdominal workout there and a nice straightening and bending of the knee, which is very healthy for that. Okay. Okay. Let's come to the front edge of the chair and straighten one leg. Put your heel on the ground. Okay, let's bring the ball overhead. Now the idea is we're going to hinge at the hip, reach for that toe, keeping the knee straight. So kind of checking in with the knee quite a bit to see if it can stay straight. Make sure you're not going to slide off your chair. And we'll just reach down for that toe and let your head fall towards your knee. A breath in, a breath out. And see if you can hinge the hip a little more. Pull the belly in and fold a little further. A breath in and out. Folding, folding, straight knee. And then we're going to reach out and lift. We'll switch legs. So 1 foot flat on the floor. This one is my heel is on the floor. I'm taking a breath in, stretching up. As I exhale, I just fold. Seeing maybe I reach my toe, maybe not. Mainly I want to keep that knee straight. Let your head fall towards your leg. And a breath in. As you breathe out, contract your belly, hinge at the hip. Fall a little further forward. We want to stretch the back of the thigh, the back of the knee. A breath in and fall a little more. Hinge, belly in. Then reach out. We'll use the back muscles to come up. And we'll end with a shoulder stretch here. So I'm bringing this behind my back. You can face forward. I just want to show you what I'm doing. I'm putting it behind my back, and then I'm moving my shoulders back. Okay, pulling in the belly, hinging forward at the hips, so it's a mostly flat back. I'm pulling my elbows back, and I'm seeing if I can lift the ball and bring it back down, and lift the ball and bring it back down, and then I'll come back up. Okay, let's try that. If your shoulders are okay with it. If you can't do this in that way, I mean, it's quite a stretch for the shoulders. Just go ahead. You can lean down, maybe bring the ball out and lift and get a workout with that hinging. But if you can bring it back, think of doing that. Shoulders go back, elbows go back, hinge, lift, touch, lift, and back up. We'll come to the front. And let's think of relaxing the shoulders. And maybe a slow circle. And a slow circle the other way. Okay, we're gonna put the ball down between our ankles, slide forward in the chair. We're going to go to some abdominal work. For a start, let's stay in the middle of the chair. Okay, belly in, seat and urinary muscles contracted. Let's see if we can give a little jump. So I'm using my feet. My ball of my foot is pushing off to give me a little bounce. And then I'm going to try to slow it down, make it a little higher, and then down lower. And relax. A breath in, a breath out. So using through the abdomen, the thighs, muscles that really need the oxygen. Okay, let's just change it a little bit. We'll start that bounce. Belly contracted, seat contracted. See if we can go a little side to side. Chin down to keep the neck relaxed. Elbows kind of back to keep the shoulders wide. And back to the center. Let's scooch all the way back in the chair. Lean back and swing to fully straighten the knees and give the back a little rest. And then we're just going to leave the legs sticking out and slide your seat forward. So now your shoulders are back on the back of the chair. I'm just going to give it a little turn. And the body is pretty straight. And we're going to move into this part of the abdomen. So we'll take a breath in through the nose, let your belly expand. Compress your belly, force the air out through your mouth and nose. And give a 4-inch lift. And then let's point and flex in the ankles. Thinking of full movement in the ankles, thinking of strong belly contraction and down. And let's do that again. A breath in, expanding the belly. Compress, push the air out. That 4-inch lift. And let's flex and extend again. Chin can dip a little bit because you want to keep your neck relaxed. Head can fall forward gently. And then we'll slowly lower. Okay, holding on to your chair, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to see if we can maybe lift and grab the ball before we put the ball aside. And we get ready to go on the floor. So we are going to use the ball on the floor. So let's put the mat in front of the chair. Okay, I'm going to put my ball close by. All right. I'm going to come to one end of the mat. I'm going to repeat this exercise that we did earlier. The feet are about hip width apart. I'm going to hinge, sticking my seat way back and reach to the floor. Pull the belly in. Contract your seat. I'm going to see if I can lift one leg back and then the other leg back and each leg again. Okay, and then I'm going to bend my knees, kind of get more of a squat, and then let's walk the hands forward, bring the knees down, and we're going to get knees separated, hands separated. I'm going to change my screen here. Okay, and in this position, you want to have your heel of your hand right under your shoulder. And if your wrists don't like being fully straightened, you could come on your fist. Because we're going to do an exercise here with the ball. We're going to take the ball, and here in this position, we're going to bring it out to the side and down. Contract your belly, contract your seat, and then dip your belly a little bit, stick your seat out a little bit, and then go back to what feels neutral. And we're going out, and we're trying to watch it with the eyes. And then we want to go to the other side. So switch the ball to your other hand. You could be on your fist or flat palm. And we'll go out and watch the ball. Remind the belly, remind the seat to contract. Watch the ball with your eyes. Okay. All right, and then a few things with the hips. We haven't done too much for hips today. What we want to do is lift the knee out to the side and down. So this is the knee stays bent, and I'm just going out and down, out with a pause, and down, and out with a pause, and down. And then going to the other hip, you can stay right where you are, just to make sure people are able to see the movement. Out and down, and out and down, and out and down. Okay? And then keeping the knee bent, we're going to do a up to the backs of the toe right toward the ceiling and down. We'll do 4 on each leg to get the big muscles in the back of the hip. And let's go to the other leg. That bent knee and down, a lift, and down, a lift, and down, and a lift, and down. Okay, now for knee flexibility, we're just going to put your hands one over the other on the floor in front of you. Bring the elbows down, bend your knees, your seat goes towards your heels, your head rests on your hands there. You bring your elbows out. Take a few breaths in and out, and as you breathe out, try to bring your seat a little closer to your heels. So working on knee flexion. Okay, we'll push up, hands and knees. We're going to bring a hand on the chair. I'm backing up a little so the chair's in front of me. I'm going to bring a knee forward. I'm going to tuck my back toes. And then from here, I'm going to stand up and turn and sit and get your shoes on. We'll get the floor mat out of the way. And we'll get our weights handy. Okay, we're going to start with side lunges. So I'm going to move my chair so it's easier for people to see. But for side lunges, you can go back and forth behind your chair in case you need a chair for balance. I'm just going to move mine. Okay, let's start with our weights. Wide shoulders, seat contracted, firm ankles. We're going up and down on the toes. So weight towards your first and second toe. And then we're going to do a lunge to the side where you shift your weight over and hinge. So it's a bent knee, a flat back, both toes forward. Okay, I'm going to bring my elbows back. So these are kind of in close. From here, I'm going to do 2 toe raises. And if you want, you can do a jump instead of a toe raise. So if you're able to do a jump, we're working on bone density of this lead hip. We'll drop the weights. Let's pull back, pull back, pull back. That's pull the elbow back, pull back, push your hips forward. And we're going to try for that slow return up and over. Okay, let's go to the other side, that side lunge. And then the hinge. Pull the elbows back, toe rise, and if you want, a jump, and then stay hinged. I gotta straighten that leg, and then we're gonna do our, it's called seesaw row, where you pull one elbow back, and then the other. And then to come back to center, I'm gonna pull my elbows back and push the seat forward, and see if I can get a controlled landing back to center. Okay, a few toe rises, a few breaths in and out. I'm going to go down to 1 weight, and I'm going to do a forward lunge. So I'm right next to my chair, near the back leg of the chair, so it's kind of standing back, and I'm going to lunge forward, flat foot, ball of the back foot. I'm going to tighten my core muscles, push into my heel, and I'm going to bring this up and around my head one way and the other, doing a halo around my head, and then off of the front heel and back, go to the other side. Okay, and get my position, weight in the front heel, both feet forward, contract your seat and belly, and I'm going to do a halo in one direction and then the other direction. I'm going to hold this right in front of my chest, and if you want, you could do some nudges or jumps and then push off your heel and come back. Let's go forward again. Ball of the back foot, bend both knees, both toes straight forward, weight in the front heel. Now we're going to bring it out in front and do a figure 8, and you want to feel it right like at the umbilicus and a little below, above in your belly. Okay, off of the heel, we'll come back. Do it on the other side. Bend both knees, weight into the front heel. We'll nudge, nudge. And we're going to do this figure 8, bringing the weight sort of in front of the body, feeling that kind of right in the middle of the abdomen. And then off of the front heel and back. Okay, let's do a few knee lifts. Pull this weight in against your ribs a little so the elbows are back. So build some control there. And let's get both weights. And we'll do a back lunge and work on biceps. So I shift my position to the front leg of the chair, and I go back on the ball of the foot and do all my same positioning, squeezing the core, go into your front heel. We're going to go slowly the shoulder, slowly down, slowly up, slowly down, both together, overhead, back to the shoulder, and down, and we're going to step forward. And we're going to step back on the other leg, ball of the foot, give a nudge, nudge. Think of your core, think of your front heel, and we'll do a slowly up, down, very controlled, controlled up, controlled down, both up, and overhead, and down, and we'll step forward. Okay. And then we'll go back to one weight. We're going to do a side bend and overhead. Squeeze your seat, belly, and urinary as you go to the side. Use those muscles to pull you up over to the other side, and use the muscles to pull over. Seat, belly, pull you, and seat and belly pull. Whew. We'll bring that down. Let's open and close in the hands. Come to the front, out to the sides, and let's circle in the wrist one way and then the other way. Let's bring our arms wide, down and back, feet separated, core contracted. Our 5 deep, vigorous breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. But out through the mouth, let's try that. Like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Okay? So. And then circle, relax your neck, everything